The YSL Rico case is a laugh in the face of the American justice system. It's the most entertaining reality TV that you can watch right now. I've been catching glimpses of this case for what seemed like years, from the long jury selection up until the tail end of 2023 when the case started. It just seems like a clown show. Let's take a look at some of the highlights we've got thus far.
Yeah, come here, look at this.
Does anybody remember at the inception of the case when Young Thug and Gunna got arrested, only for Gunna to get released? Everybody was calling him Gunnatello, and then he goes on to have an even more successful rap career. Before we get started, I want to shout out the channel that produced a lot of these clips that we're going to show here. That's Law and Crime on YouTube. I will link their information down below. Shout out to that channel. And if you guys want to keep up with the Young Thug trial, you can go over to their channel and see more. What about when one of the co-defendants explained to us what Young Thug stands for?
If you do know what, if anything, Thug stands for.
Yes. Truly humble on the God.
Young Thug's lawyer wanted us and the jury to believe that Thug stands for truly humble under God. It's almost laughable, to be honest with you. And then you had the prosecution's star witness, YSL Woody, take the stand and say this.
This is what I did. When they got me on this day, and I was going to jail, I tried to come up with something to tell them. That's why I can't tell you what I said. I was making it up.
What benefit would it be for you to lie to the police if you were trying not to be in trouble?
I was hoping to convince them so they could let me go.
So why would you lie to convince them?
What you mean? Why would I lie to convince them?
Right. Why would you lie to convince them if you wanted to not go to jail?
Why would I lie to convince them to not go to jail?
Right.
But they don't know that I'm lying.
Well, they didn't let you go immediately, did they?
Sometimes they let me go.
Right. But
But when the time they let me go, I thought I was smarter than them.
But long before all of that, the prosecution's team decided to open their arguments with a poem from the Jungle Book.
This is the law of the jungle, as old and as true as the sky. And the wolf that shall keep it may prosper, but the wolf that shall break it must die.
Now, let's be clear. I'm not a fan of Young Thug, and I'm also not a critic of Young Thug. What brought my attention to this case was the argument between the judge, Judge Granville, and Young Thug's lawyer, Brian Steele.
Note that for purposes of record. Well, I'm going forward. What I was told was that Mr. Copeland said,
And you haven't answered my question yet.
I'm not
How
going
did
to
you
answer that question.
You're not.
No, I will not answer that
Why
question.
will you not answer that question?
Because I want to make sure that what I say is accurate. I'm not trying to.
No. I'm asking you, how did you get this
I'm
information?
not telling the court. What I'm saying is based on information.
Okay, well, listen, if you don't tell me how you got this information, then you and I are going to have some problems. Somehow you have surreptitiously gotten information in regards to the court's private ex parte conversations with the party. I mean,
A party,
yes.
a witness who was sworn in Friday. The court's telling. This is what I was told. If this is not true, not true. This court
Mr. Steele,
handed
ask
Mr.
me.
Copeland.
Tell me how you got.
perjury.
Tell me how you got the information.
Listen, whatever you want to do.
Tell me how you got the information. Then we can go ahead and go forward.
I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to say is this. I was told, and I hope this concerns the court.
It
I was
concerns
told-
me that you have proprietary information.
Why is it
or
proprietary?
information that you should not be having that was ex parte.
Why?
With a party.
Why?
State of Georgia.
How about the witness? How about Mr. Copeland, who supposedly announced he's not testifying and he'll sit for 2 years, and then supposedly this honorable court,
okay.
or excuse me, let me rephrase that. This court supposedly said, I can hold you until the end of this trial. Ms. Hilton supposedly said, actually, all of the defendants and then all 26 people are disposed of. If that's true, what this is coercion, witness intimidation, ex parte communications that we have a constitutional right to be present for. So
I'm going to hold you in contempt if you don't tell me who tell me who this
I
information
don't
was
want to
coming
be
from.
held in contempt.
Well,
I'm not
then
answering that question. I am
I
telling
tell you what, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. If you don't tell me
don't
who
have to.
if you don't tell me who it is, I'm going to put you. I'm going to put you in contempt
I
because
understand.
that is not attorney-client privilege.
Attorney work product privilege. I am not.
How did you get that information supposedly from my chambers? Did somebody tell you?
I'm not. You should have told me.
It sounds like Young Thug's lawyer got some information that the judge and the DA were having an ex parte and illegal conversation with the witness in the judge's chambers. He's inferring that the judge and the DA are colluding to influence the witness. The first thing the judge does is ask, where did you get that information? He doesn't denounce the allegations. He doesn't say, hey, there's additional context. He says, there may or may not have been an illegal conversation, but you shouldn't have been privy to it. And based on that information, Brian Steele is asking for a mistrial on the assumption that the judge and the DA are influencing the witness. So the judge threatens to hold Brian Steele in contempt of court. He says, we'll take a 5-minute recess. Maybe you'll come back and feel a little better about telling me. They take a 5-minute recess. They come back. Brian Steele says, Judge, still not going to give you the information. So he holds him in contempt of court and has him arrested for having information about the judge and the DA having an ex parte illegal conversation with the witness in the judge's chambers. We often hear about how everybody is equal under the law, but you know and I know there's at least a 2-tier justice system in this country. There are those with money, power, and fame, and then there's the rest of us. We're subject to different laws and different rules than the people that have money, power, and fame. We know that those with money, power, and fame have a different standard of justice. We see it with this judge. He has the authority to throw Brian Steele in jail. And he says, even though I had an illegal conversation, you shouldn't know about it. And if you don't reveal who told you about the conversation, I'm going to hold you in contempt of court. And he does. Brian Steele is sentenced to 20 days in jail for having information about an illegal conversation. And on social media, on the news, I haven't seen any outlets say that there will be any repercussions for the conversation that the judge had or for him leveraging his power against Brian Steele. This is just another example of when they say equality for all, they don't mean everybody. They mean equality among us, and then there are people that are above the law. Well, that's the video for today. Thank you for... that's the video for today. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. All the YouTube things. Until next time. Peace.